So today's topic, I don't know, starting with setbacks and ending with, I don't know, we'll see where I end. So, setbacks, you're going to get many of them in life. You just got to believe you are where you're supposed to be, and you make do with what you got where you're at, and you do the best you can, and that's all anyone can ask of you. I know, like, a lot of this stuff sounds like, I don't know, something your dad might say, or something some old man might say, or something, who knows. Maybe it is, because I am a dad. I'm not an old man yet, but definitely not a young man anymore, but still a PJ, so I got that going for me. But, you know what, a PJ is just a PJ, and it's just a man who said I do to something like this. So don't think that because you're not a PJ yet, or because you're not where you'd like to be, or not even where you think you should be, you're in the right place, and that's where you are. So wherever you are, that's where you're at, and you need to be strong for that moment, and you need to learn from whatever lessons that you're supposed to learn at that place from those people, and then you're supposed to go on to something else and do better things, or whatever, you know. But where you are is where you're supposed to be, so make the best of it. Don't look at setbacks as like, oh, you know, well, everybody else graduated high school on time. You know, if you're a slow learner, you're a slow learner. You know, it took me 3 times through INDOC, 2 dives. Even took me 3 times past that dang paramedic test. That is a rough test. Don't let anyone ever tell you that test is easy. If they do, they're a lot smarter than we are, and so be happy for them. But as a whole, that is a rough test. So, you know, I think I have failed in a lot of things in life, but I have succeeded in a whole lot of others. So, you know, what's failure, what's success? Reminds me of a Chinese proverb story about one day this old man and his son, they find this horse, and his neighbor, wild horse. The neighbors are like, wow, man, that's awesome, you got a horse. You know, it's awesome, we're super stoked for you, and, you know, it's what good luck you have. And the old man says, is it? And so the next day, his son's trying to break in the horse, and the horse bucks him and throws him, and he breaks his leg. And his friend's like, oh, what bad luck you have. And the old man says, is it? The next day, there's an army coming through, and they're taking all the young men to fight in the war. But the old man's son can't go because he broke his leg. So, the moral of the story, is it good? Is it bad? I don't know. Everything's just neutral, and it happens for a reason, and it makes us who we are. So, just be the best you can be. Yes, there is breakfast at INDOC, to answer somebody's question. Usually getting that about 5:30, 6 o'clock. You don't want to eat too much. Eat little bits throughout the day, in between the run, on the bus, things like that. And for sure, don't eat a big lunch, because big lunches do not do well in your stomach during WaterCon. Secondary, if you know, tricks for learning to hold your breath better. Cut out carbonated beverages. I know that sounds horrible. I love my Dr. Pepper, but I do much better without the caffeine when I'm trying to hold my breath. So if you cut out carbonated beverages, 1, it's a quick way to drop weight if you're trying to drop weight, and 2, I don't know the science behind it, but I do know that I've heard from more than one doctor, kinesiologist, and smart person who has said that by dropping carbonated beverages out of your diet, you'll be able to hold your breath longer. So, the only way to get better at holding your breath longer is doing underwaters, spending more time underwater, doing stuff, you know, getting used to that feeling, because your brain wants to breathe, you know, and it's not normal to not breathe. So your body's going to be like, I need to breathe, need to breathe, need to breathe. So you need to train it, condition it to not want to breathe, or that you don't notice that you want to breathe as bad. A lot of willpower will help. Goes a long way. So just like running, the other way you're going to get better at holding your breath is holding your breath. Now some people can static hold their breath, you know, for large amounts of time, but when they get movement, you know, or they're burning energy, they don't hold it as well. So if there's some videos out there on static breath holding techniques, if someone tells you to run while holding your breath, I don't suggest it. If you do it, be careful. And also, I didn't tell you to do it, so it can work in the idea that, you know, you don't breathe every step you take while you're running. But I think when you're running, focus on your cardio, focus on your pace, focus on running. So that way when you're focusing on underwaters and things of that nature, you focus on that. So do what you're doing. Sometimes some hybrid training works, but refrain from holding your breath while running. Unless somebody says, hey, you know, Lance Armstrong did it and it worked for him. But then again, Lance is a genetic monster, added steroids, and you know, what couldn't the man do? So I still think he's a badass. You know, he's talented, he's strong, he's able to do a shitload of things more than a lot of other people. So I think if you just take him for willpower alone, and you know, like in dodgeball, you know, when I had testicular cancer and lung cancer at the same time, I thought about quitting once. You know, I always love that line. It's a good line. I think I messed it up, but it's the theory, you know, fuck it, man, who cares? Don't quit. Don't quit. Ever, never, ever, ever. I don't even like saying the word quit. Quit is a 4-letter word. I'd rather say a whole lot of other 4-letter words before I said don't quit, before I said that word. But actually got some news from a cone today. Very good cone. And he wanted me to pass on to you that he thought that there was one thing lacking from one of the interviews with the Setbacks the other day, and I totally agree with him. And he said, the only thing I would say to people who want to know about INDOC, you might as well ignore the pain, because the pain will never stop. Don't quit. Never quit. And it's right. I mean, you're going to have aches and pains. You're going to hurt. You're going to be sore. Your immune system's going to be down. In about 5th, 6th, 7th week, everybody on your team is going to have diarrhea. Because everybody's going to be sick and tired, and you just push on through it. And I know this because I've been here for 8 years, and because every 5th or 6th week we all get sick because some dirty cone breathes on us. I don't know how many times I've been coughed on, diarrhea bombed in the pool. Not pretty, but I guess it's life. So, you know, you press on. Continue your mission and never quit. Excuse me. So, that's my thoughts for the day. Setbacks or setbacks, it doesn't matter. 1 foot in the fight, still, you know, or 1 foot in the grave, still 1 foot in the fight. So, don't judge yourself against other people and be like, well, that guy made it the first time, or that guy, you know, whatever. What did you do? How did you do, and did you do your best? So, keep on keeping on. Oh, you know what? I'll tell you a story about a friend of mine. I just found out he passed. There's a PJ up in New York. Really nice guy named Tiny. He was like 6'8", 6'9". I think he was like 300 pounds, you know, but he didn't look like, he wasn't fat. He just, you know how tall people are. They're gigantic. Their bone structure alone, who knows? But he died late December, I just found out. So I love that dude. He's a good guy. And we were, years ago, like 99, we were doing a Mode 8. So the space shuttle used to take off, and PJs would go sit in places and drink beer and wait for it to blow up. And we had a great time. Basically, it was 2 weeks of getting drunk with your buddies with about 45 seconds of work, and then we'd load back up and go back home. And on some of those TALs, transoceanic abort landing sites, I got to surf in Africa in the middle of winter, which was awesome. Had the entire Gambian coast to myself. I surfed naked. I was getting barrels. Waves were perfect. I remember paddling out one morning, and there was a dude beating bongos on the beach. There were monkeys, howling. The water was 85 degrees and the air was 85 degrees. Like, it couldn't have been any more perfect, and it was the middle of December. We had just left Germany and France, and Germany was 12 feet of snow, frozen, and the Gambia was amazing. Some good dudes on that trip. And we were there for like 2 weeks, and Lutz was there, like all kinds of good dudes. And as a senior airman, young senior airman, I had this veranda view. It looked like I was staying at Pipe, like 2 palm trees, just perfectly. We're looking at the break that I surfed all day, every day. I surfed so much my stomach was like rubbed raw and just bloody, but I had so much fun. So it was about that time frame, and so we're in Florida, which is another great surfing spot. I've had many days of good surfing out in Cocoa Beach and Satellite Beach, and down in the inlet, and Tiny and a couple other PJs and myself were put on this tugboat to go sit out and wait for the we were support for that day. And we had to go out the night before, and the night before is this giant storm, and we're on this tugboat, which was at any time the first or second oldest tugboat on the East Coast. And it all depended, because there was another tugboat that was running out of Massachusetts, I guess, and this tugboat and that tugboat periodically sank. And so at any point, either one of them was the eldest tugboat on the East Coast, and waves were crashing over this thing. Like, I have pictures of the water over the back of the boat, over the front of the boat, like, it just, the whole thing's underwater. The diesel engine was a piece of crap. We were all getting carbon monoxide poisoning. Everybody was sick. I really wasn't sick from the storm. I was kind of enjoying that, but the diesel fumes was killing me. And so, it's the little ship was rocked, and back and forth. So we're all thinking we're gonna die. Sometime that night, I just said, forget it, I'm going to bed, because if I'm gonna die, I'd rather not be tired. So I crawled underneath the table and went to bed. And when we woke up in the morning, it was the most beautiful, sunshiny day, not a ripple in the water. It was perfect. Like, we had a lot of fun. Did the exercise, everybody was happy, end of story. And so Tiny was with us, and we were just laughing our asses off, because, if you're going to drown, you're going to drown, so fuck it. And so now he's in heaven, and I hope he's doing well, and I hope his family's well. And so I'm sorry that he's gone. And but I thought that'd be a pretty good story to share that with everybody. So yeah, train hard. Have a good one. Hit me up with your questions. I have a Instagram, MAHRONEY. I have a Twitter, @Mike M3672. And then if you're watching this, you got me on YouTube. So, yeah, ask me questions. I got a 50pullups.com. Check them out for working on your pull-ups. I hope to have a video this Saturday with some treading. I'm going to work with some guys, hopefully. So, yeah, that's another thing. If you're in the San Antonio area and, you're looking to do some training, hit me up. I will help you. For basically gas money. Because, I got to feed my kids. But if I help you once, I will help you again. And, don't work too hard unless it's working out, and get to pararescue in-dock as quick as you can, as prepared as you can, and have a good one. Thanks.